I think our friends at Hoyok Media are good. I think we're good here in council chambers, so I'm going to call this meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, April 1st. It is 7:07 p.m., and we are live in the City Council chambers. We're being recorded on Zoom. We are being recorded on the city's live stream. We are also being translated into Spanish, so thank you to our friends at Hoyok Media. The clerk will call the roll. Thank you.
Anderson Burgos. Bartley.
Here.
Devine.
Here.
Givner.
Here.
Graney.
Here.
Jordan.
Here.
McGrath Smith.
Here.
Murphy Romaletti.
Here.
Ocasio.
Here.
Israel Rivera.
Here.
Jenny Rivera.
Here.
Sullivan.
Here.
Bacon.
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless America. And the city of Holyoke.
And all its people.
And the city council.
And all its people.
Love it. You guys have a good rhythm going here. Madam Clerk, just for you, Councilor Devine's name was pulled first today.
Oh, okay.
So thank you, Patty.
Okay, thank you.
Little housekeeping. Just for the purposes of remote access, which we have a member of our council on Zoom tonight, I would entertain a motion to take a roll call vote that for the purposes of this meeting would be applicable to all motions to receive, to refer items to committee, remove items from the table, place items on the table, package items together, comply with items, or suspend the rules unless there is an objection.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. That is done.
Madam President,
Yes, Councilor Bartley?
this might be out of order, but I just want to have a special moment of silence for a good friend of mine who's a city councilor in Chicopee, Bob Zagorowski. He served for double-digit terms, could not possibly be defeated. Former policeman and dare officer, just a wonderful gentleman. If we could have a moment of silence.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Mr.
Councilor. And I believe Councilor Graney?
Yes, I'd like to offer a moment of silence for Charlie Lavelle, former city solicitor here in Holyoke, wonderful man, Vietnam vet, and he's going to be buried in the Veterans Cemetery this coming week. A moment of silence, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you both. Okay, so there's no one signed up for public comment right now in council chambers that I know of, and
Do you want a motion to take the
I
minutes up, Madam Chair?
oh, sorry, and I don't see anyone on Zoom, so I think we're good.
Do you want to take
Council.
well, it's up to you. We've got these, the minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if we want to take them all up at once or.
Sure. So 2, 3, and 4 will be discussed in executive session on April 15th.
So the motion is to take number 1 off the table.
Yep.
And to receive and adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to take item 1 off the table and receive and adopt. Is there any discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. And then we'll just leave 2, 3, and 4 for now?
Yep.
Okay.
And the motion would be to remove number 5 from the table.
If we could keep
No.
5, if we could keep 5 on the table,
Oh,
because
that's
we're
right. to be
discussing
discussed.
that at
Yes,
Charter and Rules.
That's right.
Okay.
You're right.
Yep.
Sorry, Kev.
Okay, well, so we'll keep 5 on the table. And then I believe 6 and 7 and 8. Were we waiting for?
Well, I don't know about 6, 7, and 8 we can probably move, but that's up to the chair.
Yes.
Yeah,
see
we have the legal language, I believe.
That's what we were waiting for.
That's what
Right.
we were waiting for.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend our rules, take 7 and 8 together, package, and remove them from the table, please.
Okay.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules and take items 7 and 8 together as a package and remove them from the table. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, under discussion. Counselor, so let me just read them into the record. 7 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred a zone change application. Tiago Martins and Jeffrey Diaz, 736 Dwight Street, from BL to DR, to develop properties with duplex, triplex apartments. Recommended that the zone change be granted. Counselor Rivera?
So both applications were approved at council. We had public hearing. Nobody came in. I mean, people came in, but I didn't get any negative feedback with regards to the properties. When they presented, they actually presented kind of like a schematic of how it would look in the community, and it kind of fits with what they've already done with the other building that they have on, is it Dwight Street? Yes, Dwight Street. The black and white building that's painted next to a little bit after the post office. But yes, it got approved through the Committee of Ordinance, and what we were waiting for last week was the legal language, and we have that now. So when you guys are ready, motion to pass the language. Yes.
Second?
So the motion was to pass the first
There you
reading.
go.
Is there more discussion from anyone? And everyone's good with the legal language? Thank you to the law department for getting that to us. So the motion was to pass the first reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Motion to pass the second reading.
Motion is to pass the second reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And motion that the passage be ordained.
And motion that the passage be ordained. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to approve items 7 and 8 for the zone change requests.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
Graney,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Bartley.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Okay, thank you. With that, you've passed 7 and 8. Item 9.
But Madam President,
Yeah.
I'd like to take up 9 and 10 as a package if possible.
Okay, motion to suspend the rules and take items 9 and 10 as a package. Is there a second?
And to remove them,
Second.
to remove them from the table, right?
And remove from the table. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so item 9 is the Ordinance Committee referred an order that if someone's putting an RFP through city for property that is up for sale, applicant has outstanding issues with the Board of Health, building, other city departments having to do with other properties they own, they are not eligible to win the bid for RFP. Recommended that the order be adopted. And item 10 was the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred an order that section 86-6 be updated from 200 to 1,000 for consistency with state law. Recommended that the order be adopted. Councilor Rivera?
So, real quick, I don't see item 10 language in the package.
Okay.
It was adopted.
That's
at
what
the
that
last
note means. I'm sorry, Jeffrey.
meeting. Okay.
So is 10, we're just,
I think 10, we ended up having the language, and
Online.
it was like a one number change in the whole ordinance. I think we're good on 10.
Okay.
Jeff, does that sound right? 10 was
10 was adopted at the last full meeting,
So then we're not voting on 10.
correct? We're not voting on 10?
We needed the
10's
language.
just like imaginary?
We have the language.
Okay, we've got it. Okay, then we're good. We'll
I
continue.
accidentally put it on the agenda and it was already passed last meeting.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you for the clarification. So for item 9, you've already read the language? I mean, not the language, the order, right?
Yeah, so I did read it into the record, but now you can take it away from there.
So this is another one. This is with regard to anyone putting an RFP for any property that's up for sale, making sure that they're all up to date with regards to taxes or anything that they owe to the city before being able to win a bid. This one was one that came up at the last full council, but as well, we were waiting on the legal language. We have that now. If everyone approves, we would like to pass the first reading.
All right, so the motion was to pass the first reading. Under discussion, Councilor Bartley?
Second the motion.
Yep.
Under discussion.
Yep.
If I may, you'll notice in the legal language, see, I think the spirit of this was, as the chairman said, to make sure that Board of Health, building, and that all our taxes are up to date. I see in here, I just want to make sure I'm not missing it, but that all bidders must provide a certificate satisfactory to the director, stating under oath that they are in compliance with all building, health, and fire codes for the city and state. I don't see anything specific in this language relative to taxes. And you know what, and Madam Chair, I don't want to make an amendment because this is not like a mission critical. I'd rather just have the language right. If you recall our discussion ordinance, the spirit by the maker of the order was to, and I think we all agreed it was a really great order, that we want to make sure that the taxes are and everything else is up to speed, just like you do when you read for when we're going for the permits and all that. So if I was to make a motion, I won't do it, but I would like to make the motion, we lay it on the table just to make sure that the language is compliant with what we discussed in committee, because I don't read it this way now.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Rivera, did you want to?
I'm not against it.
Okay. Is anyone opposed to that? All right. Then would,
I'd like to make a motion that we lay it on the table.
okay.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to lay the item on the table. Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. So not item 10. Item 11.
So sorry.
The Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred an order that an ordinance be created that requires the police to report all damage to city property greater than $1,000 from a motor vehicle accident to the City Council, Mayor, and Law Department. I'm just reading the abbreviated version. Recommended that the order be adopted. Councilor Bartley?
I'm just going to make a motion that we remove item 11 from the table.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to remove item 11 from the table. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
So moved. And so that was the order that was previously read to amend that ordinance. Councilor Rivera?
Yes, this is another one that we took up last time for the last meeting, and we didn't have the language. It seems that we have the language now. Councilor Jourdain filed the order. If you'd like to specifically kind of clarify on the specifics on where we're changing things, coming from you, it'd be a lot better just to make sure.
Sure.
Councilor Jourdain, go for it.
Yeah, thank you. So just updating the 200 to 1,000 in this section of the ordinance. The other one is just making it clear, who's supposed to report what. Basically, that there's supposed to be a report filed with the police, and then they're supposed to notify the mayor, the law department, and the DPW. And then if they can recover anything, then it seeks to have everybody be notified. Ultimately, it's going to be up to the department, to the law department and the DPW to determine if they can. But at least it's notifying people in our departments that these accidents to city property are occurring, and it sets the threshold at 1,000, which is consistent with that other ordinance. So that's it.
Thank you, Councilor Jourdain. So that order was recommended to be adopted by the committee. Order to pass the first reading, whenever.
A motion
Second.
to pass the first reading.
Second that.
Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion to pass the second reading.
Motion to pass the second reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Motion that the passage be ordained.
Second.
And a motion that the
Second.
passage be ordained. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to adopt the ordinance change.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
Graney,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio. Yes. Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Bartley.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
With that, you've approved it. Thank you. Counselor Bartley.
Yeah, Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to suspend our rules and take out of order item number 44, please.
Motion has been made to suspend the rules and take up item 44, which is the Committee on Public Service, to whom was referred communication from Mayor Joshua Garcia appointing Mr. Dennis Luzuriaga of 6 Pinehurst Road to serve as Commissioner of the Housing Authority. He will replace Mr. Jose Maldonado Velez and will serve the remaining of his term. Recommended that the appointment be confirmed. It's my understanding we have Mr. Luzuriaga here, so thank you, Counselor, for making the motion to take it out of order. Is all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Under discussion, our Public Service Chair, Juan, is not here this evening, Counselor Anderson Burgos. But Counselor Graney, would you like to just give us a brief update?
Sure. We had the public service meeting. In attendance were myself, Chair Anderson Burgos, and Councilor Ocasio. And we interviewed the two people. The first one, of course, Mr. Luzuriaga of 6 Pinehurst Road, to serve as the Commissioner of Holyoke Housing Authority. We found Mr. Luzuriaga to be very forthcoming, very knowledgeable about this information, and very concerned about the city, and very willing to serve in a capacity. He has extensive experience in the area and also in the area of art, I believe. So I think that he'll make a fine, and the council, the subcommittee felt he'd make a fine addition to the Holyoke Housing Authority. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Counselor Graney. Does anyone want to add anything?
No, I'll just make a motion to receive and adopt the committee report and confirm the appointment.
Second.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to receive, adopt, and confirm the committee appointment. Is this a roll call?
Doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to be. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Thank you,
Congratulations.
Mr. Luzuriaga. We appreciate your commitment to the city.
Oh,
Thank you.
pleasure.
Yes. You don't want to stay with us all night? No, we're ending early. It's going to be a great night. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Okay. Go back to communications, I think is where we left off. Okay.
Another housing commissioner.
Oh, yes, okay. Item 12 is from the mayor, a letter reappointing Marilyn Sanabria of 20 Resnick Boulevard. She'll serve a 5-year term to the Housing Authority, Holyoke Housing Authority.
Motion to suspend the rules and confirm the appointment.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules and confirm the appointment. Under discussion?
Just to the chair, I don't, obviously I'm going to support this, but it says letter reappointing Miss Marilyn Sanabria of 20 Resnick will serve a 5-year term. It doesn't say to what. Now,
No, it's got it on there, Commissioner of the Housing Authority.
It will
not on my
expire
agenda.
Oh, really?
Does that have
April-
on your agenda, Kev?
It's on
Oh,
our
no, I'm
letter.
in the letter.
Yeah, but does that have on your
Oh.
agenda? It's posted?
Got it.
I don't think so.
What's in front of me, just to clarify and answer your question, is it says a letter reappointing. It does not say Housing Authority. It does say the expiration date.
So it doesn't say it on the agenda. Now, I don't care, but I'm just saying, does the law department want to guide us on this? I don't want to make a mistake on our appointment for a silly reason.
I don't think we will be, since this is a communication and attachment, but does the law department have anything else to
Make a
add?
motion to suspend our rules to ask the law department if there's any
Second.
problems.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Attorney Bissonette? Are we,
It's sufficient that it was posted as a part of the package on the website. I just looked at it to ensure that it was there. So the mayor's appointment did indicate what he was making the appointment to and the length of the term. So the fact that it's not included entirely on the published agenda is mitigated by the fact that it's included as an addendum to that agenda
okay,
in a whole. But I think that was just an unfortunate omission.
okay,
Somebody just did.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so the motion was made and seconded to suspend the rules and approve the reappointment. Was there any other discussion? Councilor Jordan?
If I may, Madam President, just wanted to speak highly for Maddie Santabria. She's a really lovely person, very community-centered, does great work in the schools. She's served very faithfully in this appointment as a commissioner historically. I'm glad to see she's willing to do it for another 5 years. So just kudos to the mayor for making this reappointment. She's excellent, so very proud to support her.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, on the motion to reappoint, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Madam President?
Yes,
Wonder
Councilor
if it's-
Devine.
If it's okay, can we take up items 13 through 24 as package? And maybe have abbreviate, because it looks like most of those are to be received.
Second.
Madam Chair.
So motion was made and seconded to suspend the rules and take up items 13 through 24, 23?
24?
24 as a package to receive. Under discussion?
I don't object, provided we can send some of them to committee,
Okay,
because a couple of these I wanted to go to committee.
sure. And Councilor Rivera?
I guess the only thing for me is that 15 sounds like it goes with item 30.
Oh,
So I was gonna ask that we take those as a package.
all right.
Okay.
So what we can do is, we will take, we can take 13, 14,
16 goes with 32, by the way, to Councilor Rivera's point.
Yeah.
Okay.
15, 16, and ultimately 30 goes together.
okay.
I haven't even seen that one yet.
Okay, it sounds like we do need to refer some of these to committee, so why don't we just go through and see what we can do?
Okay.
So it looks like we could take 13 and 14 together as a package and receive, if folks
Yep.
are okay with that.
Second?
All those are under discussion. Councilor McGrath-Smith?
I just wanted to name that I had requested that this information on the Yale Street house be shared, because I know a number of people in different committees are working on what does this pilot payment process look like, and 11 Yale has consistently paid their pilot payment since they agreed to do so. So I just wanted that to be into the public record.
Great.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, so 13 and 14 together as a package and receive. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So then 15 and 16
Go with
together as a
30.
package. Suspend the rules to take 15, 16, and 30 as a package.
If you want to do that now.
That's what I was gonna say.
And refer to,
No,
Or
this is going to be,
30
we're
is a
adopting
committee
an
reading.
ordinance.
okay.
It's relative to that.
Yeah, 30 is a committee reading, and these are two communications to that committee reading.
Got it?
So
All right, so I'm just going to read briefly into the record. 15 and 16 are from Attorney Mantaleski, a letter regarding the administrative leave ordinance, and McGonigal versus Governor 418 Mass 147. And then 30 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom is referred an order, the City of Holyoke develop a personnel policy for the handling of administrative leave and codifying the rules into ordinance as recommended by the Personnel Department, including but not limited to when employees should or should not be placed on paid or unpaid leave. Recommended that the order be referred to the full council without recommendation. Councilor Rivera.
yeah, so this was an order filed by Councilor Jordan, who I'll defer to elaborating to the particular order. But I think with us as a committee, and Councilor Bartlett can elaborate, and Meg and Councilor Rivera too as well, it was a little, not that we didn't want to hold it up in the committee, so we wanted to push it forward, and we didn't want to send it in a sense with our own opinion with regards to the recommendation. So we decided to push it forward because there was still some questions and some concerns for some people. So we wanted to get through with it and hash it out, I guess, now in a sense as a committee. But again, I'll defer to Councilor Jordan just to explain his piece with regards to codifying these rules into ordinance.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm not the chair, but go ahead.
You're not. It's okay. Councilor Jordan and then Councilor Graney.
Great. Thank you, Madam President. So just want to clarify one thing, and I had a good conversation today with Attorney Mantaleski, taking into consideration the points that she made in 15 and 16. We added, or I'm proposing for an amendment, the last sentence in your legal package marked item 30. So what came out of the ordinance committee was the whole thing except for the last sentence. And she requested that this last sentence be added for her approved legal form. And so I did concur with her. And I would like to make that as an amendment to add the last sentence here that you're saying, the provisions shall not apply to elected official officers or elected employees unless specifically applicable to said elected officer or elected employee pursuant to Massachusetts general laws. So that she wanted that sentence added and it related to that case and her other reasoning. So I agreed with her, and so I'm recommending we make an amendment. I'm making an amendment right now, if I may, to add that last sentence, please, to the legal form.
I'll second that.
Second, is that in red? That's the
Yes,
right, okay.
that's the red now in black in
Yep.
this version. Yep. Mhm.
Okay. So the motion has been made and seconded to amend the ordinance to, I'm just trying to, do you want me to read the language in or just?
Whatever you prefer.
I'll just say that we amend the language to include the additional language from this document presented before you.
Do you want me to read that sentence?
That'd be great, because I don't think
Sure.
I have.
So the amendment would be to add a last sentence that says the provision shall not apply to elected officers or elected employees unless specifically applicable to said elected officer or elected employee pursuant to Mass General Law.
Okay. Is there other discussion? Councilor Graney was next, and then Councilor McGrath-Smith. Go ahead.
Just a question through the chair to Councilor Jordan. Is this inclusive or exclusive of the school department?
This would be inclusive. And the other thing, I only spoke to the amendment. I didn't explain why I'm in favor of this being adopted overall. When the president recognizes me again, I'll answer that. But this is carrying over the sections of the state law to the city and is clarifying what the current law is in the city, which currently does apply to all employees, and this would apply to all employees.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Thank you, Madam President. So in committee, I had named that I really wanted more information before I voted so that I would understand the impact of it. And so I had asked if the law department could provide more information, because it says very clearly that it's not in conflict with the terms of collective bargaining agreements. And so I'd asked, what is the language in our current collective bargaining agreements around this so that we could understand which departments would it impact? Do we already have collective bargaining language that effectively says that the police department, fire department, school department are not covered by this
There's a lot.
language? So I wanted to understand it. I feel like this could be a great policy. I just can't vote on it without understanding its impact. And I think there was some confusion in the law department thinking that that information because it was moved out of council without recommendation, that we may not still want that information. So regardless of how it goes tonight, I just feel like I can't vote yes at this time. I'm still looking for more information just to understand what the collective bargaining language is currently on this topic. So just wanted to name that.
Thank you. Counselor Jordan and then Counselor Devine.
Just to answer that question, and it's a good question, thank you for asking it, is the Personnel Department did do a review by department of all the collective bargaining agreements. And the other thing I would commend you to read is Attorney Mantelewski's legal opinion on this. Essentially, what's going on is some departments thought, well, we can do X, and some departments thought we can do Y. But what Attorney Mantelewski's legal opinion from October, November said is that essentially, unless it's the collective bargaining agreement, as this sentence that she correctly has in here, it says, let's see. Oh, yes. This section shall apply to all positions covered by collective bargaining agreements unless the language is expressly in conflict with the terms of the collective bargaining agreement and the terms of the collective bargaining agreement are not preempted according to Mass General Law 150E, Section 7D. So that language is to address the point you're making, and that is what the prevalent current law is, that standard relative to all these collective bargaining agreements. So she addresses that in the legal opinion and that review. Now, if folks need more time, I'm in favor. If you need more time, the world is not going to freeze over if we wait 2 more weeks to deal with this. So I'd be fine with tabling it if people want to review that. But I can send around that legal opinion. I can send around the Personnel Department's review of the collective bargaining agreements. The whole point of this is there is a state law on this topic. And I just want to make sure Holyoke, what we're doing is consistent with what the state law says and what the law department legal opinion is. So, because basically the 30,000 foot view is the appointing authority has wide discretion on whether people are suspended or not. It says may, right? So ultimately it's a judgment call of the appointing authority. But once they do say, yes, I'm going to suspend, the statute says it has to be without pay, okay? So that's the key. It isn't, well, I think it's a minor offense, so I won't, I'll give it with pay. And then this over here, well, no, I think it's more serious, so I'll do it without pay. The statute has rules on this, and what I'm suggesting is we follow what the state law has guidelines. So that legal opinion, the Personnel Department review.
It sounds like maybe we need a little more time, and I'm okay with that, but I've got Counselor Devine and then Counselor Bartley if you guys want to add anything. Or
Thank you.
I'm sorry, and Counselor Bacon, I see your hand, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, the answer through the chair that Counselor Jordan gave is exactly what I needed to hear. Mm-hmm. So I'm ready to vote on it tonight, but if you table it, I'm still going to vote on it in the future, because my concern was collective bargaining, and I can't even imagine that City Solicitor Mantelewski would do something knowing that if it was the wrong language, the unions be all over. So I'm fine with what you read, and I'm willing to vote on it tonight or send it back.
Thank you. Counselor Bartley?
I'm of the opinion that we should lay it on the table, the motion at such time, because I'd rather have the language in front of me so I can digest it.
Sounds reasonable.
Yep.
Counselor Bacon, do you have anything to add?
I only wanted to note that this is something that occurs rarely, and it's simply an effort to make sure that we're aligning with the state law. And I do believe that our law department did thoroughly vet it, so I'm in support of it. Thank you.
Okay. Counselor Rivera.
I'm going to say I'm genuinely in support of it. I do feel like it is duplicative, but ultimately I'm in support of it. It's not a problem with just trying to reinforce the rule here locally. But the concern I have does have to do with the actual ultimate language. But then also, it sounds like that if you're not protected in a bargaining unit or a union, then you're not protected at all, and that for me kind of doesn't feel fair. But I just wanted to put that out
Sure.
there just real quick.
So, would you all like to lay it on the table, or? Okay.
I'll
Did
second
Councilor
that.
Bartley make the motion?
Yeah, so,
I'll second Kevin's motion.
okay, so a motion was made and seconded to lay the item on the table. So that's item 30 and,
15 and 16,
15.
I think we can just receive.
okay, all
I
right.
think we're good
So
with those.
we will lay item 30 on the table. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And then 15 and 16,
And I'll second his motion.
You received?
motion to receive, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. All right. Item 17 from Attorney Degnan, a Wayfinders temporary license agreement.
I make a
You
motion.
received?
No.
We got to send this to
Make a
DGR.
motion to refer it to DGR because it requires a vote
Yep.
of the city council. So
Yep.
motion referred to DGR.
Sounds good. Motion's been made and seconded to refer to DGR. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Item 18 is from our city auditor, the grant completion form for the Student and Senior Safe Fund 1686.
Receive.
Motion has been made, seconded to receive. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, I'm sorry. Counselor Bacon, under discussion?
I'm just putting my hand up for the next one.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So item, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 19 is from Counselor Bacon. It's an open meeting law complaint. Counselor Bacon.
Yes, I just have a point of order on it. This particular issue is relative to a majority of our Charter and Rules Committee meeting to develop language, and that's the basis for it. But I noticed that it's already been placed on the Charter and Rules agenda for tomorrow night, and it can't be placed on the agenda for tomorrow night because we're just receiving it tonight. And so we'll be violating it again if we.
Is that
leave it
a,
on
I
that
think it's for a
agenda.
different open meeting law complaint that you filed?
No,
maybe?
No. It's this one,
Madam Chair,
because it's dated 4/1.
Oh,
well, I'll make a motion to
So-
refer it to Charter and Rules.
okay. Sounds good.
So
We've done
I
a lot of
just-
things before and it's been okay, but if it's not okay now, then we won't do it this time. So
We can refer it
Well,
we can
it's
still
just
refer it to
that-
Charter and Rules. So motion's been made and
Correct.
seconded to refer to Charter and Rules. All those in favor?
Aye.
to. Aye.
Any opposed? So that won't be on the agenda tomorrow then?
I was just
The
asking,
will of the body?
Yeah, Counselor Jordan?
yeah, quickly, I didn't hear from Linda, is that what you wanted to have? You want this to go to Charter and Rules? Or you didn't want it to go to
It
Charter and
can
Rules?
simply be received, or it can be sent to Charter and Rules. It's
All
just
right.
simply,
Okay.
if we're referring it to Charter and Rules, it has to be taken up at a future meeting, not tomorrow night. Thank you.
Counselor McGrath-Smith?
It may just be, I think Jeffrey does an admirable job, and it just he might have gotten ahead of himself in putting it on the agenda and assuming that it would be sent there. It wasn't something that was discussed.
Yeah,
Jeffrey
That's fine.
presented a
Discuss it tomorrow.
draft.
yeah. Well, we won't, so it's fine.
Another time.
But I'm looking forward to a fruitful discussion in the future.
All right, number 20.
All right, continuing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Aye.
Any opposed? 20 is from Counselor McGrath-Smith. A communication e-bike battery explodes in Holyoke apartment.
You received?
Motion received.
Motion to receive. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 21 is from Macmillan Law Offices, refund of community impact fees paid pursuant to HCA with Holyoke 420 LLC.
Motion receive and refer to finance. I think
Yes,
there
because
is-
they're handling that sort of cannabis issues.
Mm-hmm.
Might be
Second.
time for a executive
We-
session
We have
update.
one person.
We do have, so hold on, one person at a time.
apologize.
I know we're all excited. I get it. We do have an executive session scheduled for April 15th.
Oh, okay.
And so I believe it's the intent of the law department to include an update related to that on 21.
Well, motions to receive and refer to finance.
Okay.
So,
So the motion was to receive and refer to finance. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 22 is from Jenny McKay, partner from SVP Employees Benefits Consulting, communication regarding health insurance broker.
Finance, please.
Motion, receive for finance. I'll second.
Motion was made and seconded to receive and refer to finance. Any other discussion?
Just very briefly.
Councilor Jordan?
Reading this, the general gist is there's some concern, as folks may remember, on health insurance, we had a co-broker. Now the decision has been made to go to one and give all those services. Now the other one, the former partner of this dual, has concerns about the process and how they were included, excluded, and how this decision was made. So that's the tenor of the discussion. So my thinking is, now that this is coming into the council's lap to look into, maybe we can have a meeting at a future date, up to the chair, but to invite people in and just discuss what happened, what was the decision, and take it from there, and just people will find out whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
thank you.
good. Thank you. Councilor Devine?
Yeah, I think there's minutes to the meetings in there as well that you might want to
Correct.
see.
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll bring those along with us.
Okay, cool. So, so then 22, do you want to do 22 and 24? Do you want to send 24 to finance?
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Motion to suspend the rules, take them as a package, send both to finance.
Motion's been made to take, suspend the rules, take 22 and 24 together as a package and refer to finance. 24 is the Health Benefit Trust meeting minutes from December 4th, January 13th, February 24th, and March 10th. Send to finance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And for 23, motions to receive.
23, motion to receive. It's the Fire Commission meeting minutes from February 24th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Madam President?
Petitions?
Madam President?
Yes, Councilor Bartley?
May we suspend our rules and take 25, 26, 27, 28 together as a package? They're all renewals, and then, so that's my first motion.
Okay, so motion was made to suspend the rules and take items 25, 26, 27, and 28 together as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And my next motion is to approve them, subject to them being up to date with everything.
Okay. So the next motion was to approve items 25 through 28 for their renewal applications, assuming, and it looks like everything checks out in our documentation. So is there any other discussion?
I don't know if there was any existing conditions on those licenses, but if there were, we just maintain those.
And I'll
Okay.
second that.
So to motion to amend the motion to approve the renewal and any additional conditions on the permits. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm actually, let me read them, sorry. 25 is a petition for 300 College Highway, Southampton, renewal of 17 pool tables. 26 is a secondhand license renewal at 250 Road. 27 is a secondhand license renewal at 2261 Northampton Street. And 28 is a secondhand license renewal at 50 Holyoke Street. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Madam President, I just wanted to check maybe with the clerk, unless you know, do
Sure.
we need a roll call on those, on the?
Oh,
licenses?
let's ask.
I was just gonna say, we need a roll call on the ones that, are the secondhand license or require
Yeah.
a roll call, so we
Okay.
should take one. We-
So
as a
that would
package.
be 26, 27, and 28.
Correct.
Okay, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote in favor, you're voting for 26, 27, and 28.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
Graney,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Rumboletti,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Bartley.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
We need an Ocasio in there too.
Oh, we forgot Counselor Ocasio.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ocasio.
She's a yes.
Okay, unanimous vote. Sorry about that.
I forget myself when I have to do roll call. I don't call on myself.
Izzy picked up on it, right?
He's paying attention. All right. President's report. Please hold. Okay, so last Friday, I have a couple updates. Last Friday, Governor Healy signed an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, which allows public bodies to continue with remote and hybrid meetings until at least June 30th, 2027. So just making sure folks are aware of that. As I said before, there is an executive session that's scheduled prior to the next council meeting, which is on the 15th, April 15th. And the agenda is going to be circulated and posted soon, and it will explain the need for items to be discussed in executive session. What I wanted to just kind of throw out there, we're starting at 6. Do you guys think we can do an hour? I mean,
Is there a lot of items?
now that we have this other thing that is going to be discussed, the item that we were mentioning before, I fear it may be a little longer. So I'm wondering how folks feel about 5:30. I don't love it, but I mean, if you feel strongly against it, then I will just do my very best to limit your ability to ask a lot of questions, I guess. So I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So I guess think about it, and then if you have strong feelings one way or another, send me an email or call me or text me or whatever, and I'll work with Jeffrey if we need to schedule it, if we can schedule it earlier. Okay? Thank you. A little plug for the Holyoke High School musical, which is happening this weekend. I was in all 4 of the musicals. Don't want to brag, but it was the Tornado and the Wiz, so kind of a big deal. And it's Little Shop of Horrors this year. So it's Thursday through Sunday. The Thursday through Saturday is at 7:30. Sunday is at 2:00. So that's happening. And obviously, Councilor Anderson Burgos is not here, but we wish him a very happy birthday, and we relieve him of his presence today. So happy birthday, Councilor Anderson Burgos. And then last thing, Councilor Jordan and I were talking before the meeting, and we thought it would be good for democracy. this is going to be my last meeting as City Council President, and he's going to take over going forward. April Fools. Gotcha. Joke's on you guys.
Yeah, that's
You wouldn't believe all the
Stuck with
questions
me.
I had in my head.
Stuck with me for now.
Only if Patty will be willing to take over for me.
Yeah, there you go. Patty will fill in for you.
I want to see if they're funny.
Jeffrey wanted to mention that Holyoke's setting an example for other communities. He received a call from the city council in Chicopee today asking for a copy of our pilot report that was discussed in DGR because they want to take it up at their meeting. Look at us. Look at us go. Oh, he also got a call today that you guys really need to speak into your microphones.
Yep.
So, sorry. Please do that. Remember,
Chair,
you can't hear me here, right?
did we get a call about the Holyoke River?
Oh, yes. The Connecticut River is now
Holyoke River.
the Holyoke River. Thank you. Lots of good April Fool's jokes. Wait till next year.
Yes, and we have an active volcano at Mount Tom.
Active volcano, everything. Keep it coming. All right.
I'm running for mayor.
There we go.
April 2nd is going to be here pretty soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Motion to annex South Hadley.
My brother's the assistant town manager, so maybe we could work something out.
Make a call.
All right. Thank you, everyone. That's all I've got for President's Report. Councilor Sullivan, did you want to add anything? I think
Yeah.
you did.
Just an update for the council. On Thursday, March 27th, the period for RFPs closed for our long-term sewer agreement. For those of you, it's all available online. Anybody that wants to dive through it, this is what it looked like. The RFP, that's printed both sides to save paper. We had 3 respondents to it, which was great. All 3 were highly qualified and multinational corporations. So we've got some good competition going. The Selection Review Committee will be meeting tomorrow night. We're going to do it in 2 phases. In the first phase, we just review all 3 of the respondents and the scope of their proposals without looking at any price, and just compare the scope of them. And then after that, we'll see the pricing. The way it is set up, we are not obligated to go with the lowest bidder. So that's moving forward. I'm really pleased with the 3 companies that have responded, and we expect to have this whole process, almost 2 years now, hopefully completed by the 1st of June.
Awesome.
Good work.
Thank you, and thank you for all your time.
Well, I'm a small part of it, and there was a lot of people, a very good, very well qualified group, and still working on this and putting in a lot of hours. The interviews that will actually take place, I believe, on April 25th. The committee is meeting all day from 8 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for the update. And I just want to thank Councillor Jourdain for running the meeting in my absence. Last meeting, Councillor Givner and I were in Ireland. It was an incredible trip. I was wearing 2 hats. I've been on the parade committee for almost 15 years, but it was great to take a tour of their downtown and meet their director of economic development and learn about all the really awesome things that they've been investing in and working on in their community. And there's so many similarities. And they have actually the picture of the Holyoke resident who won the Rose of Tralee in in the 80s, 76. So anyway, it was a really awesome trip. So thanks for holding it down while I was gone.
Sure.
And it was worth all of the stress that it may have caused me. And thank you everyone for the being at the parade. It was a great day, great weekend. And so yeah, great. That's that. So we'll move on to reports of committees. And I know we do have a lot on the agenda. I appreciate folks, brevity, but also there are a lot of things on the agenda that remained in committee. So we'll go through those. But Counselor, we're going to start with ordinance. Item 29 is the Committee on Ordinance referred an order that the City Council establish a minimum sewer fee to be paid to the city upon the sale of any real estate closing. Recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor Rivera?
Yes, this was an order filed by Councillor Bartley. We met about it twice. We were just working on the language. Councillor Bartley actually came up with this. Actually, he can explain it better than I can if he would like. You sure? So I guess in his field of work, they've run into different situations where it's odd numbers at the end, and this makes it it's still an odd number, but it makes an even. If it makes sense, an even odd number, right, where it makes it easier to actually do the mathematics at the end of a closing, right, if I'm correct, if that's correct, right, when they're selling and purchasing homes. So we came up with a legal language, we put it together, thanks to the city solicitor, Bissonnette, I believe, worked on this with Councillor Bartley, and motion to pass the first reading.
Motion was made and seconded to pass the first reading. Under discussion? Other discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there a motion to?
Yep, motion to pass the second reading.
Motion to pass the second reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And motion that the passage be ordained.
Motion that the passage be ordained. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to adopt the ordinance.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Divine,
Yes.
Kivner,
Yes.
Graney,
Out of the room.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes,
Bartley.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Thank you. With that, you've passed it. Counselor Bacon, before I forget, are you okay? Are you for signing these?
yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Item 30, we did, or it's tabled.
And Madam Chair, could
Yes.
we take up, suspend the rules, take up 31 and 33 as a package? No, 31 and 32 as a package. It's so, as you go down, some of these can be taken as a package.
Yeah,
but like-
sure. We can do 31 and
of the-
32, you
Yeah,
said?
yeah.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules and take up items 31 and 32 as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So item 31 is these Committee on Ordinance that the no parking sign at 14 Arthur Street be removed. And then 32 is a request that a three-way stop sign at the intersection of Mosier and Bauer Streets. 31 is recommended that the order be denied, and 32 is recommended that the engineer's recommendation to not implement a three-way stop sign be accepted.
So for
Councilor
31,
Rivera.
yes, 31 was followed by former Councilor Puello, and then 32, I think it was followed by myself and Councilor Jenny Rivera. So we had the city engineer at the last meeting, she came and she wrote in, sent us some communication around these particular orders that were filed. I took up a bunch of orders so we can clean out some of the jacket. So, and I'm sorry at home for that. So 31, the city engineer recommended to deny that only because we would like to hear from the residents that are there now. So we figured that Councilor Ocasio could possibly take the time and reach out to those particular residents and see if that's still a concern for them to remove the no parking sign. We didn't want to go ahead and remove that without actually checking in with the constituents, mostly because it's been some time since that was filed, since the last time it was filed. So hopefully that can be refiled with the if the constituents want that to happen.
Okay.
Then for 32, again, we according to the city engineer, the data and the statistics doesn't show for that it makes sense to put a three-way stop sign at the intersection of Mosier and Bauer Streets. So as a committee, we decided to follow the city engineer's recommendation to not implement a three-way stop sign.
All right. Is there any other discussion? Okay, so the motions for 31 and 32 to deny, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
So 33, entertain a motion to take up item 33.
So motion to take up item 33, the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred an order that DPW install a crosswalk for the city parking lot on North Canal Street across from GTI. It recommended that the order be referred to DPW and a letter sent to the mayor requesting an appropriation from impact fee funds if allowed. Councilor Rivera.
Yes, so this was recommended to be approved. The only situation was trying to figure out how it would be funded, and we added that communication to the mayor's office to see if it could be used through impact fee funds, if it's allowed with regards to the restrictions on the expenditure of impact fee funds. So I don't know if that's not an order to be ordained. So I'm sure that's the end of it there.
Yeah, so it sounds like the motion would be to refer to the
Yes.
DPW and
So
send a letter
motion
to the
to
mayor.
refer to DPW.
And the mayor.
I'll second the motion to receive and adopt the committee report.
Okay.
There we go.
Motion was made and seconded to receive and adopt the committee report. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Motion to take up 34, 35, and 36 as a package.
Motion to
Second.
suspend the rules and take up items, 30, no, we just did that. 34, 35, and 36?
Yes.
together as a package,
And 37, you could put it in there too if you want.
and 37, together as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So 34 is the ordinance committee that the DPW engineer consider putting stop signs at Joanne, Bemis, Drake and Bemis, Mount Tom and Bemis, and West Meadowview and Bemis. And that's recommended that the engineer's recommendation to not install the stop signs be accepted. It's a lot of double negative. Okay. I got you guys though. 35 is the Committee on Ordinance referred an order that a right turning lane be designated on Hamden at the corner of Pleasant Street. Recommended that the engineer's recommendation to close out the order be accepted. 36 is an order that a legal opinion be issued to clarify allowed uses of marijuana impact fee money. Recommended that the order be given leave to withdraw. And then 37 is the Committee on Ordinance, communication from Mayor Garcia, letter of veto regarding order on reporting damages. That an ordinance be created that requires a department head to report of any loss in their department over $250 in value to City Council and Mayor. Recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor Rivera?
Yes. So for 34 and 35, which were ordinance, communications from the city engineer's office, and the recommendations were to not install stop signs and that the other order be closed out, which is 35. So we continued the conversation with regards to these particular areas, but according to the city engineer again, traffic flow and specific data does not indicate the warrant for a stop sign for number 34. And then for 35, I believe they looked into it already and they've kind of came up with a solution to try to mitigate flow. So I think the idea was to just close out the order and accept it for the engineer's recommendation too as well for that one. For 36, it was this one was on the legal opinion to be issued to clarify all allowed uses for marijuana impact fee has been recommended to order to be given leave to withdraw, mostly because of I think, and if I recall correctly, they came in and explained some of this throughout the process, and this order was filed, I believe, 2 or 3 years ago. But over time, they've been able to communicate somewhat effectively as to how we can spend certain impact fee funds. So we, as a body, decided to give it leave to withdraw. And then 37 was just a communication from the mayor's office as a letter of veto regarding the reported damages. We took it in and we recommended that the order has been complied with. We took it up in the meeting and we'll move on to the
I'll
next.
second the motion to receive and adopt the committee report
Thank you.
on all those orders.
So, seconded to adopt the committee report under discussion. Councilor Jordan?
Yes, Madam President, the only thing I would add to the chairman's report on 37, just to refresh people's memories, this ultimately was adopted, but in a different format. It went into the financial policies and the threshold was raised from 250 to 500. So this was already adopted in another form. So this is our 37's all set.
That's what I'm talking about. We teammates.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
It's complied with, so.
Anything else? So the motion was to adopt the committee reports. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
I don't know if the chair wants to do this, but maybe take 38, 39, 41, and 42 because they're all lead.
I would love that.
Yeah, I mean,
Does the chairman want to do that?
There's one that says, I think 40 says recommended that the order be adopted.
We already, there is legal language for that one. I have a circle on that. Or no, we didn't receive legal language.
So then we're not.
That's
doing
what my note says.
41 and 42.
So then skip 40.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Let's do that.
So
Okay.
my motion is to take those four as a package.
Okay.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules, take items 38, 39, 41, so 41 and 42 together as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And so 38 so 38, 39, 41, and 42 have all recommended that they give leave to withdraw. 38 is that the setting of the sewer rate be returned from City Council to DPW Commission. 39 is that the DPW Commission return to reviewing and setting the sewer rate. 41 is an order for the city engineer to install 2 raised crosswalks on Samoset. I never say the emphasis the right way. And 42 is order that crosswalks be installed from the parking lot on Canal serving businesses in block between Water and Appleton Streets. Councilor Rivera?
Yeah, so 38 and 39 are sort of duplicate ordinances. Again, I was cleaning out the jacket. I saw these two together, and when they came up, Councilor Vacan had suggested that we give them leave to withdraw, and the council agreed with, the committee agreed with it since they were both filed a while, I would say a couple of years ago. So it's given it, if anything, when the conversation comes back to it again, we can refile and have that conversation again. For 41, again, it's a duplicate of the painting of a crosswalk in front of GTI from the parking lot, the one that we just kind of voted on. And then 42 is raised. What is it? 42. So no, 42 is the one, the GTI parking, the crosswalk for the parking lot. But 41 is trying to get 2 raised crosswalks on Samoset Street. And Samoset is right next to Kelly School, and residents there were complaining about speeding going up and down the streets. Some teachers too as well. So we had filed, myself and Councilor Jenny Rivera had filed an order to see if we can get raised crosswalks, but we will have to get constituent signatures to do that because the process just changed with regards to how you get raised crosswalks. So yeah.
Great.
So
Anyone else?
I'll second the chairman's motion to receive and adopt committee report.
Motion's been made and seconded to receive and adopt the committee reports. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Madam President, I don't have a legal form for 4. Do I have it?
No, you're right.
43
that's
either.
number 40. I didn't.
Ask a question.
What about 43?
Yep.
Well, we're on 40, aren't we?
Hold on, let's just do 40 first, because I think, Councilor McGrath-Smith, do you have a question?
So there should be legal language. No. Oh.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to lay 40 on the table for
Okay.
legal language.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to lay item 40 on the table pending the legal language. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Okay, 43. 43 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred an order that the city accept Lynn Ann Drive and Richard Eager Drive as public ways. It's recommended that Richard Eager be accepted as a public way and Lynn Ann Drive be accepted as a public way, pending recommendation of the Board of Public Works. Councilor Rivera?
As it reads, recommend that we adopt it as a committee, and we are working to accept, hoping to accept these streets as public ways from us, and we just like to pass it forward.
Yeah,
Councilor Bartley?
Can I ask a question? I guess this is chair to Kevin, because he knows this better than anybody. I think the way it works is that we would receive this order, refer it to Public Works for its recommendation, and then they would make a recommendation and send it back to us for a final vote. Now, am I wrong, or am I wrong on that, Kev?
I believe that is typically how acceptance or discontinuance of a street, and sometimes it also requires a public hearing.
Okay.
I don't know if any or all of that may have happened.
It may be the fact.
Madam President.
It may be the case that the public hearing happens at the Board of Public Works.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Thing.
Yep. Councilor Bacon?
Thank you, Madam President. This, the petition was referred to the Board of Public Works in 2023. And
Okay.
so this has now circled to them, over to Public Safety, back to Ordinance. And so what I'd like to request is that we table this in city council pending the Board of Works recommendation.
That makes sense.
So, thank you.
That makes sense. So that was a motion to,
Well, before you do that, can I make a comment?
Councilor Bartley.
I don't have a problem with tabling it, but I think we ought to take a vote to get a communication from the Board of Public Works pretty quickly on this by the next meeting. So if that's what the Ward 5 councilor wants, I'm fine with it, but with tabling. But if you just lay it on the table, what good does that do us?
Sure, yeah. So Councilor Bacon, I'm going to let you answer. I think I knew what you were. Go ahead, Councilor Bacon.
Thank you. I've been in communication with our city engineer, Victoria Houle, and my understanding is she's requested the Board of Public Works to take this up at their next meeting. So I think everybody's looped in on the need to move with this, but I'm not against the council requesting the recommendation from the Board of Public Works either. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Bartley, and then Councilor Devine.
Yeah, so I'll make the motion, but it's also going to beg the question: where are my minutes from the Board of Public Works? Where are they?
So 2 meetings ago, we got a bunch.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to go off topic on that, but
my motion is going to be just to make a recommendation that the Board of Public Works communicate with us their vote relative to this matter ASAP.
Okay. So the motion was made to lay it on the table and get the recommendation from the Board of Public Works after their next meeting and request their recommendation as soon as possible.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, so we did 44. 45 is the committee. Thank you, Ordinance Committee, for all your work. 45, we're switching to public service. A communication from Mayor Garcia, a letter appointing Samuel Mateo of 26 Orchard Street to serve as a commissioner of the License Board. He will replace Mr. Moriarty, and his term will expire on October 1st, 2026. Recommended that the appointment be confirmed. Councilor Graney?
Yeah, quickly, Mr. Mateo was very impressive, willing to serve the community. He's a Holyoke High School graduate, which makes him a very special person in my heart. So the committee, once again, recommended that he be unanimously appointed, and therefore that's the recommendation.
Thank you.
I'll
Is there other any?
I'll second the committee report.
Okay, so it's been seconded. Any other discussion? Councilor Jordan?
Just one housekeeping thing is, I don't know if a lot of people realize, but the license board is required to have one Democratic member,
Yes.
one Republican member. I'm not sure which seat this fills. Is he? he's the
Republican.
Republican seat? Okay, very good.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Got you, bro.
All right.
Look at that.
We love balance in government.
Teamwork.
It's a
What
beautiful.
about an independent?
Democracy.
That's it.
All right. Any other discussion? Sounds good. On the motion to receive and approve the appointment, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. So we're going to move on to public safety. I'm
Make a
sure.
motion. Oh,
Yep, go
to
ahead.
take up item 46 and 47 as a package.
Motion's been made and seconded to take suspend the rules, take up items 46 and 47 together as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 46 is public safety, that Tapestry please consider providing at minimum quarterly needle collection data to the City Council in communications. And 47 is public safety, an order that the Board of Health and Tapestry reps come into public safety and discuss the importance of Narcan. Both have been recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor Jenny Rivera?
Thank you, Madam President. Item 46 was filed by former Councilor Puello and Councilor Linda Bacon, and we did have a lengthy discussion with Pedro, Damasco, and Liz from Tapestry. They did provide data based on the needle collections. They did agree to submit the quarterly reports over as a communication to the city council. And due to all of this, it was recommended that the order was complied with.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Councilor Bacon has her hand up.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to say that I appreciated the folks coming in and updating us with the information and being willing to give us updates. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anything else you guys want to add? Councilor Devine.
Yeah, they were great, and we did agree that this would be complied with, but that quarterly they need to give us updated information, and if they don't do that, we'll have to refile another order.
Okay. All right. Councilor Ocasio.
I just wanted to say that it was an overwhelming meeting due to the fatalities that, the numbers are rising. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you. Okay. Councilor Bartley.
Is his mic on?
Oh, is your mic? Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Sorry. I just said to last night, following what Carmen just said, Mr. Alvarez is going to send us a communication relative to the data he's collected concerning the number of fatalities in the city. I think he has it for the last 10 years.
Thank you.
So he'll send us a communication at some point.
Okay. Great. Thank you, everyone. Motion that the orders have been complied with.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 48.
Suspend the necessary rules and take up 48 and 49 as a package.
Okay.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules and take up items 48 and 49 as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So 48 is public safety, that the health commissioners representing the Board of Health come into DGR and discuss the tobacco license issue policy. 49 was an order that the Board of Health be invited to attend and discuss if changes are possible to the tobacco license policy. And both of these recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor Rivera.
Thank you, Madam President. So orders, we did have a lengthy conversation on this, and we had, the Board of Health was there with Nicole Arnold, and I believe it was Dr. Osgood. We also had Tim Rivers there, and I could say Bartley, Councilor Bartley could speak on it. He did most of the,
Nicole was there as well.
yeah, Nicole Arnold. Councilor Bartley, if you want to step in, and you did have.
Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'll second the chair's report there, but I'll just say that good discussion and to be continued. It was a reasonable discussion, and we'll follow up with it.
Sounds good. Anyone? Councilor Rivera.
Yeah, I believe I originally filed number 48, and I watched the video. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend during that section. For me, again, the importance piece here with filing the order was just to see how they, as a board, are moving in tandem with our economic division, in a sense, with what we're doing with the tourism committee stuff, right, and building business within the community. I'm not sure if that's what, I haven't been able to watch the meeting yet, but I'll just follow up on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Givner and then Councilor Devine.
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, so from what I gather from this part of the conversation, there was a lot of conversation about the licensing and violations. It doesn't seem that was really the spirit of the order, but it did seem to have a lot of discussion about tobacco licenses at stores where they're, getting warnings for selling tobacco to minors. So there was some concern and a lot of questions about how the Board of Health handles those violations. And apparently you need many violations to lose your license. So that's what I got out of it, but it didn't seem really clear. I still wasn't clear on, the steps taken to make sure that stores are in compliance and holding to their tobacco license and making sure they don't sell to minors. But it seems like the Board of Health is doing a lot of work around that.
Thank you, Councilor Devine, and then Councilor
And I
Bartley.
just wanted to mention that the Board of Health invited us to their meetings, which are on Wednesday. I can't remember which Wednesday, but it'll be on the city agenda.
I think it was the third Wednesday.
The third, thank you.
Councilor Bartley?
Yeah, so the orders that Councilor Rivera and I filed separately, but they're pretty much the same, had nothing to do with minors. Okay? So instead of just going over the whole thing,
Sure.
Councilor Rivera will watch the tape, and he and I will circle back and we'll figure it out. So
Sounds good.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. 50 remained in committee. 51 is the Committee on Public Safety, referred an order that to address safety concerns of motorists traveling on the Locust Street to the corner of Cabot Street, parking to corner on Cabot in front of Health Center obstructs the view of vehicles. Recommended that the order be adopted with a request that DPW paint the no parking area. Councilor Jenny Rivera.
Thank you, Madam President. This order was filed by Councilor Givner. She did discuss the issues of that intersection where it's extremely dangerous, and the recommendation on this was that DPW paint the no parking area and possibly move it up, as it is a dangerous area. And if Councilor Givner would like to add some more to that.
Councilor Givner, do you have?
I'm sure, Madam President. Thank you, and to the chair, thank you. This corner has come up a bunch of times, and there is a no parking sign. So the request was actually to move the no parking sign so that it's further from the corner, and that the lines on the ground be painted so that it really designates no parking, because people just can't see coming across Cabot, and so you really have to pull out into the middle of the street in order to see both ways and get across, which is obviously not practical. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. So recommended that the order be adopted with a request that DPW paint the no parking area. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Councilor Bartley?
Madam Chair, just with the chair's permission, can we take as a package 54, 62, and 70?
And 70.
They're each lead to withdraw. Would that be okay, Mrs.
Yep.
I was about to say that too. Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So 54 and
62 and 70.
62 and 70, suspend the rules, take together as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So 54 is an order that representatives of the Holyoke Mall come into public safety and talk about the back upper parking deck. 64.
62.
Sorry, 62 is the Committee on Public Safety that DPW install temporary no parking signs on the south side of the South Street crosswalk from Elmwood Towers, and 64.
70.
Sorry, I really stuck on 64. 70 is an order that the DPW provide City Council a copy of our current agreement for our recycling materials, and each of these orders have recommended that the order be given leave to withdraw. Councilor Jenny Rivera?
Thank you, Madam President. Item 54, it was filed by Councilor Izzy Rivera, and regarding the complaints he's received about the safety of the parking lot. However, he stated that he has seen some construction and some repairs being done up there, so he recommended that we give this leave to withdraw. 62 was filed by Councilor Bartley. Also, I want to say probably this was worked on after that fatal accident that happened up there. Councilor Bartley also said this was a leave to withdraw, as it's been done. 70, This was filed by Councilor Jordan. However, he was not in the meeting, but Councilor Bacon did speak on it, and the recommendation, she believes, by Councilor Jordan was also to leave to withdraw.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, on the motion to adopt the committee reports and give leave to withdraw, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, let me make sure. Got that.
Madam President,
Yep.
52, 53, 55, 56, 57, 58, and 59 are remaining committee.
Yep,
And there's more too, if you want.
yeah. 60, 61,
63,
63,
66,
66,
72,
67,
okay, 72, 73, 74, 76, 78, 80, 81, and 83.
all remained in committee. So that's good. Am I missing? I'm trying to figure out where I just.
64, I think.
Okay, thank you. So 64. Do you want to take 64 and 65?
Yes.
Package.
Yeah, we didn't meet.
Motion to suspend the rules and take items 64 and 65 together as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So 64 is in order that the mayor, engineer, and DPW update council on the status of completing Northampton Street between Lincoln and Mount Tom Access Road, including fully paving the road to include a bike lane. 65 is in order to request to prioritize Homestead Ave from Westfield Road to Lower Westfield Road for repaving. Recommended that both of these are referred to the DPW. Councilor Jenny Rivera, anything to add?
64 filed by Councilor Meg McGrath-Smith, and then 65 by Councilor Bacon. And they both agreed, because we do have a list going over to the DPW for the paving, and they both agreed it was okay to put them on that list as well.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone else? Okay. So, motion to refer to DPW. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Madam Chair, can we take up 68, 77, and 82 as they were all complied with?
Okay. Motion's been made to suspend the rules, take up items 68, 77, and 80, 82. Okay, so 68 is, first, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 68 is an order that the mayor with HPD and Disabilities Commission give an update on making the HPD building handicap accessible. So we have 68, and 77 is an order that DPW draft a plan on emerald ash borer tree infestation emergency affecting South Holyoke. And 82 is that the DPW and Parks and Rec come into council to give a report on addressing the issue of Pulaski Park wall deteriorating. All of these orders have been recommended that they are complied with. Councilor Jenny Rivera.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 68 was filed by Councilor Devine, and this has been complied with as it's been worked on, and I believe soon to have a button for to be handicap accessible to help them get in. And 77, that was filed by Councilor Israel Rivera. This is also complied with as they already have gone down Main Street, knocked down all the trees, and I believe they're going to start planting the new ones.
Oh, good news.
82. This was filed by Councilor Meg McGrath-Smith, and there has been work being done there, and I don't quite remember, but Meg, if you could help, this also was complied with, but she could give a little feedback on that.
This is the Pulaski Park wall order.
Yes.
Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Sorry, Madam Chair. Yes, so this was, I gave a brief update around the CPA, which had I used funding in order to get a study done for how to restore the wall. There are sections that are down to rebar. And that initial study was done. We now have the ability to move forward with that. But the problem is that what it unearthed also is there was cracking all the way down the sidewalk along sections of the wall. And so the report came back saying, well, don't restore the wall until you know the embankment is safe. Or you could restore the wall and then lose the wall. So do initial coring, try to figure out if there's structural instability in the wall itself. And the problem is that effectively there is some structural instability they believe is beginning to happen related to the long-term overgrowth that has been allowed to grow underneath the wall. And so I have spoken to Matt Sokop. I had spoken to his predecessor several times, pushing for, we have to talk to Mass DOT. We have to make our case that they have to do this regular work. In order to keep this down, we have to do our part through Parks and Rec as well. So it's not just Mass DOT, we too, because we have, I think, either 6 or 7 feet of the wall, land from the wall, that's ours. So we have to regularly maintain this in order to keep this wall safe and secure for the future. And in the meeting last night, Matt Sokop reported that he believed they had been on site a week and a half ago to do clearing. I haven't been able to drive by yet to see that, but he said that he would stay on top of it. And he also said he would reach out to Parks and Rec, get a clear understanding of what our responsibility was and what our maintenance plan would be to do it in a routinized way. And that he would get it in writing as a communication to council. So that's why I felt it was fair enough to mark it as complied with. I trust that he'll follow up with us.
Cool. Thank you. Anyone else? And I live near Pulaski now, so I'll keep an eye out from my window.
We know, but...
Yeah, I got you. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So then we have 69. The Committee on Public Safety, to whom was referred an order that a flashing beacon signal be installed by the fire department at Springdale and Main for pedestrians crossing into the park, recommended that the order be referred to the fire department. Councilor Jenny Rivera.
Thank you, Madam President. This order was filed by former Councilor Puello and Councilor Carmen Ocasio. However, at the time of this discussion, Councilor Ocasio already had left. So what we did, this kind of goes together with the light on Vernon and Main Street. So we recommended that the order be referred to the fire department. And I believe...
Anyone?
Yep.
Will be the alarm division, wouldn't it?
Yep.
So.
An alarm division as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's.
We'll recommend that the order be referred to the alarm division at the fire department.
Yeah.
And, excuse me, Madam.
Yep,
add the words
Councilor Devine?
at Vernon Street. That's not in there. So
Springdale. Okay.
It says and Main
Okay.
at Springdale Park.
So, an amendment to the order that we add Vernon, or we clarify Vernon and Main in Springdale, and recommended that the order be referred to the alarm division of the fire department. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 70 is the Committee on Public Safety that the DPW.
We did that one.
We did that.
Oh, we did that one.
Yep,
Yeah.
71, I think.
April Fools. 71 is public safety, that initiatives be discussed and created to encourage convenience store and fast food store owners to install trash receptacles and sponsor trash collection throughout the city of Holyoke. Recommended that the order be referred to the Board of Health. Councilor Rivera?
Thank you, Madam President. So this item was filed by Councilor Givner. We had a lengthy discussion on this as well. We also had Attorney Bissonette that spoke up on it, and thanking Councilor Vacan for looking up the order while we were having our discussion, where she found there is an ordinance. I believe it is on this order. It would just have to be where people are held more accountable. I believe that was, and I do apologize, I left my notes, but I believe it was Councilor Vacan that did find the ordinance on this order.
Okay. Councilor Vacan?
Yes, it was just the ordinance related to littering, where we have on the books that if people are throwing trash or otherwise putting garbage on the public way, there's subject to a $100 fine. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'll second the motion.
All right, on the motion that the order be referred to the Board of Health, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So then we go down to 75. Committee on Public Safety, order that at the I-91 dedicated exit lane to the mall, consider the installation of flexible lane delineators to prevent people from illegally crossing the solid line across the bike lane. Recommended that we refer to the city engineer. Councilor Rivera?
Thank you, Madam President. This order was filed by Councilor Bacon, and we did have Matt speak up on it a little bit, and he wasn't sure if this was city street or if this is part of Mass DOT, I believe, and with the recommendation that the order be referred to the city engineer, and Councilor Bacon agreed to the order, and if she wants to add a little bit more to it.
Is there anything else you want to add, Councilor Bacon?
It was just that this came as a constituent request from seeing folks do this at the bottom of the ramp, and I'm just not sure if that is local or state at that point. Thank you.
Thank you. So, recommended to refer to the engineer. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so jump down to 79. Order that the mayor issue an executive order temporarily suspending all fines related to 110.7 periodic inspection of Mass State building codes for a 6-month period. Recommended that the order be referred to the building commissioner. Councilor Rivera.
Thank you, Madam President. And this order was filed by Councilor Devine and myself, and we agreed on the order be referred to the building commissioner, I believe, to see if there was any records have been reviewed by the building and law department.
I'll second the report.
Okay. Is there anyone else who wants to add anything? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Go down to 82. Yeah.
We did that one.
We did that one.
Oh, we did 82. Pulaski, that's
We
right.
did.
Okay. And 83 remained in committee. So we're good on those. Thank you. Okay. Motions, orders, and resolutions. We're doing so good on time, so let's not get crazy. I know, right? Sorry, Howie. 84 is filed by Councilor Ocasio, that DPW and the engineer take a look at the playground on Arthur Street. Branches are breaking and falling down. Refer to DPW and engineer.
Second.
Second? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 85 is filed by Councilor Ocasio that DPW and the engineer replace the curb that was there before they paved Route 5 behind 61 Arthur Street. Refer to DPW
I'll second that.
and engineer. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
86, filed by Councilor Ocasio, ordered that DPW or Parks and Rec replace the picnic table at South Bridge Park.
I'll second that.
So refer to...
Oh, can I just make a
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Councilor Bartley?
Get so excited about that.
I get it.
There's a nice program with the Hampden County Sheriff's Department. Perhaps they could receive a copy of this, and I'll work with Jeff to get them the copy, because they may be able to build it.
Sure.
Build something. So I just want to bring that to your attention,
Totally.
Madam President, and I'll work with Jeff and Carmen on getting that out.
Okay. Very cool.
Jeff, just remind me, please.
All right. I'm going to just make a little note there. Not that you ever really forget too many things, Jeffrey, but...
Madam President,
Yes, Councilor Ocasio?
on 86, the name of that park is, what was it?
Valley Arena. Would you like to make an amendment?
Yes, please.
Second.
Motion to amend the order to clarify Valley Arena Park and to get a copy to the Sheriff's Department. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay. 87 is filed by Councilor Ocasio, that DPW or Parks and Rec put a dog poop station at the Valley Arena Park, the same one.
Second.
Send to DPW, Parks and Rec. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 88, filed by Councilor Ocasio, order that Board of Health and Fire Department do an inspection on the waterfront on Main Street due to La Familia food truck being close to fence near dog daycare at 514 Main Street. Referred to Board of Health and Fire Department. Okay.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 89, filed by Councilor Ocasio, order that DPW clean up branches and debris on 5 Owen Street. Send to DPW? Does that work, Carmen?
Yes.
All of those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 90, filed by Councilor Ocasio, ordered that DPW and engineer pave Owen Place and install a drain. There is no drain currently. Send to DPW and engineer. All those in favor?
Aye.
Second.
Ordered that the city, filed by Councilor Ocasio, item 91, that the city have the owner of 5 Owen Place come in and give us an update on this property.
Public safety, or I'm assuming you want to commit
Where would you like this sent, Councilor? Public safety?
or DGR?
The owner to the house that was there,
Okay.
the house is no longer there, so the owner is dead. But I don't know who'd take care. That's supposed to be, I think, in treasure or something. I don't know. That's what.
Well, okay, we can refer to a committee and see if we can try to see if there's contact information for how to get in touch with someone to come into committee. Is that what you're looking for? Do you know which committee you'd like to send to?
Well, I don't know.
DGR?
I think it's DGR.
Councilor Devine?
Yeah, I was going to say DGR, or just send it to the building commissioner. Just a question. Does city council have a right to call in a property owner?
Why not?
I mean, we can.
I'm asking the question.
We
Oh,
can.
no, I'm
We
just-
can. Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
We
Do they
can.
have
It's just,
to-
I mean, we can't like enforce.
Do they have to
I'm
appear?
not going to like show up and try to arrest them if they don't come here.
Do they have to appear?
No subpoena power here.
Right. I don't have any
I
subpoena
want to
power.
make sure.
Yeah.
No, it's a good
Yeah.
question.
Yeah,
Is this something that we want to discuss or just send to the building commissioner?
Yeah, why, I don't,
Okay, this property is right behind 544 Hampshire.
Do you want a discussion or do you want us to send something to the building department?
Send something to the building department, and then we take it from there.
Okay. So,
So the motion is to refer this to the building commissioner and the building commissioner to get back to the Ward 2 counselor.
okay. So refer to the building commissioner with a communication returned to the maker of the order. Councilor Gibner?
thank you, Madam President. Through the chair to Councilor Ocasio, is this in regards to the property you emailed me about that's behind Hamden on Dwight, or not on Dwight, but it's in one of those little streets?
Yeah.
And there was trash in the backyard and it was reported to the Board of Health?
Yes, and it's still there. Yeah.
So is this about the trash or about the fence?
It's the trash that's there, the fence, and there's no drainage because the water is coming down from the opposite from the street, and there's just a big puddle there.
Okay. I think this is a Board of Health thing, but if we're not getting the responses you want, I'm happy to take it up in DGR.
Well, the motion was just to send to the building department for now and have them communicate with the counselor, so we'll do
It's
that.
definitely on their radar too.
Okay,
I just
cool.
talked to them about it.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 92. Order filed by Councilor Ocasio that the city and/or owner of 5 Owen Place come in and discuss who's responsible for the damage on the back fence of 544 Hamden Street. Same thing, sent to building with a communication to the Ward 2 counselor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 93 is filed by Councilor Israel Rivera, ordered that an ordinance be adopted authorizing newly hired employees to be paid above the mid-range upon approval of the city council. Sent to ordinance?
Ordinance?
I wanted to see if I could make an amendment
Okay.
to that.
Yeah.
And that's actually because I wrote it wrong.
Okay.
It was to not have the approval of city council for that particular one.
Okay, so
It's already like that. It's already written that way, in a sense.
so newly hired employees to be paid above the mid-range
Without
Without-
council or principal.
without council approval.
Right. 'Cause they still would have to come to us if at the end of the day anyways.
Without approval of the city council. So that's the amendment.
Yep.
Motion to amend and refer to ordinance committee. Under discussion, Councilor Bartley.
I'm not
I need a
not
second.
understanding this, so I know we're going to go to ordinance, but can I just clarify what it is
Sure.
you want to do? I'm sorry.
So currently, right now, it's if they want to offer someone above the mid level, right? They got to come to us, right? So what I'm trying to do is make it so that it's easier for them in the negotiation processes and not have to come to us when it comes to, let's say, if someone's qualified and the level is 45. If they want to offer them 46, they have to come to us to offer 46. It makes it easier for them to be able to offer the 46. I would, at least for me, and I trust our HR department, that when we're making these particular situations, and I'm gonna discredit the one police situation because that's over the limit, right? That's not above mid. That's over the limit just in general. That's a whole different situation. But here, this is making it easier for that person to do their job when hiring.
It goes to ordinance, correct?
Yes,
Ordinance.
we'll go to an ordinance anyways.
Okay.
I think I need a second on that
I'll
amendment.
second it to ordinance.
Second the amendment and to
I'll
refer
second
to
it.
ordinance.
I'll second it, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Other discussion, Councilor Jordan?
Yeah, just to clarify current law. Current law says that we cannot go, the city cannot go over the mid-range, period. That's current law.
Yes.
Whether they want to, we give it the okay. What we've done is they've said, hey, there's a couple of these positions that we want this extra authority that we even could go over the mid-range. Because right now it's got a blanket rule of no.
Right.
Right. So then we carved out like DPW director. Now there's currently trying to carve out a special one for crime analyst. Now, if I got it, what you're saying is don't have any cap. It would be, they could set the pay at whatever they want
There would
from
still be-
0 to max.
No, there would still be a cap.
This
within
sounds
that.
like it's going to
Oh,
be
yes, yes.
such a good
I'm
conversation.
just trying to understand the
I totally get it. I get it.
No, I got you. Yeah, send it to committee because we're gonna go back and
Okay.
I was about to.
I'll ask questions later.
He called me. You got me. You
I can
duped
read
me
you guys
into
like
it.
a book sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to last a little longer,
All right.
so we'll refer it to committee.
No, he brought me in. You got me on that.
We're good. We're good.
Okay, we're good. Teamwork. Okay, and now we are on. So, did we vote on that? No, we didn't. Send to committee with the amendment. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 94. It's right into your microphone. 94 is filed by Councilors Devine and Sullivan. That Public Works, the Board of Public Works be invited into a finance meeting to discuss roof repair projects.
Finance?
Send to finance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Item 95 was filed by Councilor Devine. Ordered that a public hearing be held inviting the Planning Department, Health and Conservation Departments, and the Ordinance Committee to hear the pros and cons of the possibility of including any additional wording to the, quote, keeping backyard hens ordinance.
Make a motion that we send that to ordinance and invite the different in that order, so that there can be a public hearing.
Is her mic on?
Oh, I was gonna. I don't think your microphone was on. Can you try? Yep.
Sorry about that. So I make a motion that this be sent to ordinance, and those people, those departments be invited, and that we have a public hearing on this so that the pros and cons can speak on it and go from there.
So, okay. Under discussion?
Yeah, I'm going to pose this, but just what happened is at the last meeting in ordinance, it was brought to our attention, of course, that we took up a similar order, but the makers of the order did not ask for a public hearing on a change like this where you need a public hearing. So this is not only this is going to be a contentious issue, it's going to be a costly issue because you've got to provide public notice and send out do advertising and all that. So
okay.
I'm not looking at a roll call, but I'll just when you call the vote, I'm just going to vote.
That's
no.
fine. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Councillor Jordan?
Just briefly, I will say we had a really good discussion for round one of this topic, and these various departments all weighed in on this topic. The chairman invited in, I think it was building, we had the animal control officer, and I think we had Board of Health. So a lot of these departments have started to weigh in on this topic, so I would encourage people to check that testimony out. I thought it was very informative.
Thank you. Councillor Devine, you had your hand up?
Several constituents have asked me to do this.
Okay.
And I couldn't be at that meeting, and I'd asked Councilor Rivera to table it, and you may have forgotten that or whatever. Oh, you know what it was? They were already invited, so those departments were already invited, so they discussed it. But now this is a constituent request to have a public hearing.
Okay. So where are we sending this?
Ordinance.
Okay. Yeah.
Real quick, just for clarity, I think we did table it, and Jeff could correct me if I'm wrong. I think we tabled it. I just wanted to have the people, since they were already there, like you mentioned, speak out and do their thing, so that way we can go back and see the video. But I think it's tabled in ordinance, but it could be wrong.
I was
I think so.
asked to refile an order to have a public hearing.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, somebody asked me to do
That's
that.
different because the other order,
Right.
it wasn't a public hearing. That is correct. And
Right.
It's kind of
Okay, so it was tabled, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Jeffrey just confirmed. All right, send to ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Thank you. So moved. 96. Filed by Councilor Devine, ordered that the mayor be authorized to exceed the medium range hiring salary for the purpose of hiring a new director of public works.
Ordinance.
Sent to ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm going to vote no on that as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
97 is filed by Councilor Devine. Transfer request from captain and lieutenants to injured on duty. And my notes here say this represents 2 firefighters.
And make a motion that we pass the second reading, and I'm going to also talk about item number 98. I think those numbers are wrong.
Oh, for 98?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do 97
Yep.
first.
Pass the second reading.
And take final, yes, the second reading and take final action this evening.
Sure. What was the date of the first reading? Since this is coming in on the agenda for the very
this is
first time.
sorry, that threw me off. This is the first reading.
Okay.
We have hold on, I want to make sure I'm looking at the right one. Yeah, these are just for this evening. These are the ones that we vote on the night of.
Okay, that's fine. That's
So let me just read the amounts. It's transfer $6,806.64. Transfer 2 firefighters. So the motion was to pass the first reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion to pass the second reading.
Motion to pass the second reading.
And
the clerk will call the roll. I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right one. Sorry. Yeah, 97, 98. Got it. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you're voting to approve 97.
Devine,
yes.
Givner,
Yes.
Greenie,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Bartley.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Okay, thank you. That you've passed. Item 98 is a transfer request from Counselor Devine for 7,000. Sorry, the numbers aren't
The numbers
like, lined
aren't
up.
correct.
Sorry.
The math isn't right here.
Is that a duplicate or supposed to be? Or?
No, the total's wrong.
No, I'm saying, but it's interesting that it's the exact dollar amount of item 97 on one half.
Right.
It's just
That was what was
something looks-
throwing me off
Just a
before,
typo.
too.
Maybe we now table 98 for them
I'll
to the
second
next
that.
meeting.
I think that's probably a good idea. Okay, so motion was to table 98 until the next meeting just to get some clarification.
Well, we can't transfer two different amounts.
No, I'm
Doesn't
like,
tie out.
That's
Right.
what I'm saying.
so, okay. We'll table that for now.
Yep.
Okay.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I thought I was losing my mind like 5 minutes ago, so, okay. Well, I am losing my
Mine
mind.
was 20 minutes ago when I read it. Okay.
Okay,
99.
okay. 99 is filed by Counselor Devine. Do you want to do
99, where are we?
100,
100
101,
and 102
102?
go to finance.
And I think also
Is there another one?
I had a
Oh, wait.
file to send to finance.
No, that's it for finance.
Oh, just kidding. All right, I got ahead of myself. So we're gonna take 99, 100, 101, 102 together as a package and refer to finance.
Correct.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Okay, 103 is filed by Counselor Givner. It's a handicap application for 292 Pine Street. Refer to ordinance.
Second. Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, item 104, filed by Councilors McGrath Smith, Israel Rivera, myself. Order that the City of Holyoke accept and adopt the provisions of the Mass General Laws, Chapter 43C, Section 12, optional forms of municipal administration for the purpose of creating a finance department as outlined in the statute. See attached. This order shall be referred concurrently to charter and rules and ordinance to be considered jointly, with recommendations regarding implementation to be reported back to the City Council jointly. So send to jointly to charter and rules and ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Madam President?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand. I apologize. Councilor Bacon?
Thank you. So we need to choose one committee to send this order to, because we don't have a provision where two committees can take up the same items together. And I would just submit also that to merge a multi-page modernization act under the cover of adopting a law is not making it clear what this order is intended to do. So I would recommend that we send it to Charter and Rules at this time while we're sorting out everything else in that committee.
Okay, Councilor
Can I
McGrath
get a
Smith?
second to send
Yeah,
it
I'll
to Charter and
second, I'll
Rules?
second that.
So we'll second it under discussion. Councilor McGrath Smith and then Councilor Israel Rivera.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll just say that the way to send it concurrently is the reason why the order was drafted the way that it was is because based on the 12th edition of Robert's Rules, that's the language you have to use in order to send it concurrently to two bodies, which you're allowed to do underneath that provision. So that's why I named it specifically in that way, so that the the two in a joint body could have a conversation. There's so much technicality in trying to decide what's going to be done in charter, what will be done in ordinance, and the two really have to be discussed in tandem in order for us to get anywhere, because so many changes are based on what each body will do. So that's why it was sent to both jointly, so that there are different orders that are internal rules, and there are some that are in ordinance that need to be taken up. But it would become a very halting process if we had to handle it in one, and then another, and then one, and then another. We could pass it back and forth 12 times versus us meeting jointly. And we've set up the ability for us to meet jointly on April 7th and also again on the 16th. And I would encourage everyone to attend those so that we can get as many voices as possible into the room as we discuss those.
Councillor Bacon, and then Councillor Greeny.
Thank you, Madam President. So Robert's rules only pertains when we do not have a rule. And we already have rules in existence relative to how our committees meet and when they meet. And I have further objection to this attachment of the Municipal Modernization Act of 2025, which appears to contain information that's the product of much deliberation between a work group of people that I maintain should have been done in public meetings. So I renew my motion to send this to Charter and Rules relative to adopting the provision of the Mass General Law, Chapter 43C. And I believe we need to sort out and have a lot of discussion about how we even got the multi-page attachment of the Municipal Modernization Act of 2025 document. I don't know where that came from. It appears to have come from the working group that contained a majority of the Charter and Rules Committee.
Thank you. Okay, Councillor Greeny, and then Councillor Rivera, and then Councillor Bartley, and Councillor Jordan. Did I see your hand? Sorry.
Just quickly, it probably should go to one committee because the rationale of this finance, finance department, I think the rationale and all that thing has to be ironed out first. And then if it is acceptable to the city council, then it would go to ordinance for an ordinance. But I think the rationale is important. What it is, why we need it, I'm ignorant on the situation because I haven't seen the law or anything.
Okay.
So I need to read it.
Thank you. Councillor Israel Rivera.
So for clarification, there is a rule that two committees cannot work together in tandem on a particular item or order.
Is that what you're asking for clarification on?
Yes.
I was going to address that, Madam President.
Well, I was
Suspending the service.
Well, it seems like we've got a lot of people who can address this, so that is great.
The rule, I just.
Eventually, I do think that I'm, as the president, I'm going to ask the law department to weigh in because this has been looked into thoroughly. So, but I have Councillor Bartley and Jordan, and then I'll ask the law department to speak. Councillor Bartley?
Oh, okay, yeah, so Rule 9I says subcommittees should not be allowed to meet in the same night, same time, same night. So that's the rule. So what Councillor Graney said is prescient. What Councillor McGrath Smith said is fine, except we have a rule on it. So you don't go to Robert's rules unless we don't have a rule. We have a rule. I will say that we can suspend our rules. So we do that. And then, as the chair knows, you need a 2/3 vote to suspend our rules, because that's in our rules as well. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Then I have Councillor Jordan.
Yeah, briefly, I was going to mention that rule, but yes, you absolutely could send something to two committees. There's no rule precluding that, but usually it's the item goes here and we send a copy to another committee. So you totally could do that. What I did want to point out was we do have a rule against joint meetings of two committees. That rule, we have a rule against that. So I'm just making that you aware of that, because it sounded like down the road you were thinking of maybe having a joint meeting of charter and rules and ordinance. I'm just saying right now, we have a rule that you can't do that. So that, just so you're FYI on that.
Thank you so much. And if I could just weigh in for like 5 seconds, we do have the opportunities to suspend rules. We have suspended rules to have a joint committee meeting of ordinance and finance in the past, and everyone seemed to approve that. And so, you know, I would like, obviously, everyone to feel comfortable with doing things efficiently. So I would like the law department to, if possible, just confirm that this is, if we have to make a motion to suspend the rules and vote on it, in order to, I don't necessarily, you know, how do we do it before? Let's just do it exactly how we did it before. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules and allow the law department to speak?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Attorney Bissonnette.
Well, the rule in 9I is pertains to matters that would be in conflict. My understanding of the logic behind that rule is so that you don't have two council subcommittees meeting at the same time to discuss different subjects, so that if a councilor was interested in both, he would be able to attend. If you want to suspend that rule, you certainly can by a 2/3 vote, given that the topic is germane to both committees. And frankly, the council has a lot of work to do before next January. This will include some home rule petitions that need approval of the legislature, some reorganization of the finance department, and your workload is going to increase as you move into the budget season, when decisions will have to be made in conjunction with the budget relative to the transformation of the treasurer's office come January.
Thank you.
So, welcome the opportunity to share my thoughts, but I think the best way to handle this is to listen to your two committee chairs who would like to have the opportunity to work on this together. There's nothing to prohibit that, given the lack of conflict, but certainly suspending the rule under 9I would clarify it quite a bit.
Thank you. Councilor Israel Rivera.
Yes, thank you for that, and then thank you, Councilor Bartley, as well, for the recommendation for the suspending of the rules piece. I think for myself, and I don't want to speak for the chair of Charter and Rules, but I think Solicitor Bissonnette kind of spoke to the matter for us. We know there's a lot of work to get done, and at the same time, I have other meetings and other work that I have to do with an ordinance that I have to keep up with too at the same time. And I remember, and I took this playbook, this thing out of what the chair of ordinance did the last time when we had the finance and ordinance committee come together to meet to kind of, when I was on ordinance, to kind of hash some of these things out just to make sure that it makes sense, everyone together in the room and getting it done. That was the attempt and that was the approach. There was nothing nefarious about it, and if people feel uncomfortable, then we'll do what needs to be done. But I think that ideally what's best for the council to move forward and for the city in general is to try to get both of these done simultaneously, so that way we're working together as a group and not trying to work off of the notes from the last meeting, then the notes from this meeting, and I have to recollect what happened last meeting. It makes more sense, and it makes for smoother and more efficient government. But if it's the will of the body to take a different approach, I'm with it too. I guess I was hired to do the work regardless of the matter, just trying to make it more efficient and make more sense.
Thank you. I have Councilor Gibner and then Councilor Bacon.
Thank you, Madam President. So just to be clear, it would be possible to just put in a motion to suspend the rules and send this item to both Charter and Rules and Ordinance? That's the question.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Bacon.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm extremely uncomfortable with this approach for one main reason. We're sitting here with this order to adopt the general laws, chapter 43C, which I certainly don't have a problem having a debate, discussion, and a vote on that, and it would properly go to ordinance. My main concern is the huge attachment named Municipal Modernization Act of 2025. The way this is written, it appears to imply that whatever we're doing is that adopting that is part of what we would be doing. I have an open meeting law complaint filed relative to a majority of the Charter and Rules Committee meeting, which appears to have been working on this product that is now coming to us as an attachment. And efficiency is a wonderful thing, but our business is supposed to be done in the public eye. And if we are having debate and deliberations about a complex and large document to basically restructure our entire finance department, those discussions should be taking place in public, and there should not be a majority of a committee meeting in a working group separate from a public meeting of the committee.
Okay, thank you. So I actually feel like it's my job right now to clarify some things because I see that Attorney Bissonnette has his hand up. If you read the cover letter that I submitted in full, nothing has been debated. What we have been spending painstaking time doing out of our days, out of our full-time jobs, is just going through all the ordinances and all of the rules that may need to be updated should we make these changes. I said very clearly in the cover letter, and I respect that you have an opinion that open meeting law was violated. That will be addressed, and we will have the opportunity to address that together. But there has been no discussion. We're not telling people what they should be doing. We are taking the time. If we waited for a committee meeting to do all of this work would not get done by the time that we need to change the position by law that it takes effect. And I've heard from multiple council members how important it is to move forward on a timeline. If you don't believe that we aren't discussing or that we're not debating things and that is not something that you trust that I'm saying right here in public, I can't really change that, and that's okay. You're entitled to your opinions, but I just feel that this is, if there's an opportunity to suspend the rules and for us to try to work together on this, the 20-page document is not very different from the 122-page document or so that was filed for the financial policies. That document changed and evolved. I anticipate all of these things are going to change and evolve together. I really had hoped that my letter would communicate that I encourage everyone to sign on to this if you want. I have no ill intent. I am literally just trying to do the boring task of updating our municipal finances. So I would appreciate some, the benefit of the doubt, but I also recognize that I'm not entitled to that, clearly. So, Attorney Bissonnette, do you have anything to add?
Just a note that the document referred to is provided by a financial consultant to the city who formerly was chief financial officer in the city of Springfield when they were under receivership, and that essentially is his draft from the Springfield ordinance, crafted under two different state laws relative to that, and so it's simply a template from which the committees can work off of. And my understanding is that it was sent to the council because there's a lot to go through and to give you a chance to see that and start working on it in conjunction with these issues. So I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Sure. I didn't say anything earlier because I felt like it might be out of order because we had ruled that we would be moving it to the item that Councilor Bacon is responding to Charter and Rules, where I thought this conversation would be occurring. But I drafted a response. I wrote, in response to the open meeting law complaint filed by Councilor Bacon, I wanted to write a brief explanation of the 2 meetings I attended at the request of the council president in February and March. I attended one meeting on February 27th where questions were asked in order to set dates on the council calendar for a joint hearing, and I asked questions around the logistics of how a joint hearing is called for and facilitated. The questions asked were purely of a logistical and procedural nature. Rivera and I reviewed the existing orders in both Ordinance and the Charter and Rules jackets so that we could name to our council assistant which items would be placed on the joint hearing agenda. And we listed the documents that we would need in order to facilitate the meeting. For example, we named, it would be great if the HR department were going to generate a job description based on their knowledge. This is my first term on council, and I often turn to other councilors or to the city solicitor's office to understand parliamentary procedure as well as local precedent. In this case, because it was a joint hearing that Rivera and I were interested in, creating between Ordinance and Charter and Rules, chaired by myself, I wanted to coordinate with Rivera and the council president in order to set the dates and decide who might facilitate a joint meeting. Would it be myself or would it be Rivera? I did not review any documentation or review any material as to content in this meeting. The document that's attached to this, I haven't read. That wasn't the purpose of these meetings. We needed to name dates. There were some logistics that needed to be done in order to be able to set them on the calendar. So I understand that I know that the treasurer met with other members at different points, as part of their working group. I know that he met with HR. I know that there were other people that were trying to coordinate to figure out who's doing what. And, I'm sure the law department talked to some of them around, they needed to draft information around potential ordinance changes or charter changes. That's not anything that I created or talked about with others or discussed. This is, it was us naming here some things that I think would help the conversation be productive. And I worry about the tone and tenor of the room. The goal is for us to have a good conversation so that we can figure out how we together as a group want to move forward. Everyone said very clearly, we've been talking about this for 15 months. Everyone said very clearly, let's get the home rule petition done so that we can create a special election. That took a lot of our time. We came up with a special election process so that we could address the issue of whether or not the treasurer would be elected, so that we could even consider things like, is it possible in a new finance department that we create, could we combine? Are there savings? Is there a CAFO? We've been talking about this stuff for so long. And the goal is, let's have a productive conversation. It seems to me not a good idea to start this conversation and get the ball rolling in a 3-member committee. There are way more voices than that in this room. It felt important to have a wider group of people having that conversation. And so I talked to Councilor Rivera and said, do you think that the 2 of us could do a joint meeting together so that we can have a whole conversation? I hope the vast majority of council comes to these joint meetings so that we can have this conversation. We have together decide as a group what we want to do. This document that we were given by the treasurer and the financial consultant, it's information. We get to decide what we want to do with this. And I think everyone in the room, maybe I had it wrong, I thought this was a pretty no-brainer. Everyone in this room is interested in seeing a functional finance department and having an end to these conversations. We've started this conversation, we've been having it for 15 months straight. This is where we're going, everyone. We need to create a space that we can have a conversation. And if we suspend the rules and people vote against that, I don't understand, other than just pure delay, why would we would be afraid of a conversation? Why we would want to prevent that from happening so that we can all have a good conversation about this and have as many voices in the room as possible. That's the goal. So there's no artifice here. I was just trying to get logistics and procedure done so that we could have a conversation. I like to broker conversation between people. It's part of what I do. And that's all I want to have happen here. I'm not coming in with an agenda. We will look at these documents together as a group, and then we will discuss it. That first meeting is just informational. The goal of the 7th is for everyone to ask as many questions as possible, debate, argue. Let's get it all out on the table. And then we come back on the 16th. Hopefully we've then asked the law department, we've asked HR. Great, but we really want this big change. Bring us a revised version on the 16th. We will do that. And on the 16th, we can all sit together and say, okay, well, now here are these revised documents that we've gotten. Now these match the vision that we have as council. Let's move them to council for a whole conversation. That's the goal.
Okay. Thank you. Is it still up, or was it, you just keep it up before? I think it just hasn't gone down. And I'd love to keep things going. So there's a motion on the floor to refer to charter and rules. So to refer to charter and rules, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
No. Shall we do a roll call?
Sure.
Sounds like the noes have it.
Just a point of information.
Yeah. You gotta speak into the mic, please.
Where should we be sending this?
So, well,
That's my confusion.
so we can suspend the rules and do things, but right now, like, there's Attorney Bissonette told us that you could suspend the rules and vote to do that. So
Can I make a motion?
can I just hold up. We're doing so good. I believe that the noes have it but I don't want anyone to say otherwise, so I would like a roll call vote.
Sounds good.
The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you're voting to send to charter and rules.
Devine,
No.
Givner,
No.
Rainey,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
No.
Murphy Ramboletti,
No.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
No.
Jenny Rivera,
No.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Bartley.
Yes.
6 yeas, 6 nays.
Ooh.
So it fails.
Yep.
No vote.
It fails.
Motion to suspend the rules and send, it's item 104?
Mm-hmm.
Motion to suspend the rules and send item 104 to both charter and rules and ordinance.
Can I
Roll
just?
call.
Second.
Okay, yes, we can do a roll call, and there's a second. So under discussion, Councilor
Briefly,
Jordan.
we don't need to suspend the rules to do that. The only time you're going to need a rule suspension is when you want to have, if down the road you want to do that, have a joint meeting. That's the only thing that would require. You could make a motion if 7 people vote for it, send it to these 2 committees. One theoretically is supposed to be a copy. I personally think at the moment, do that, and then we can decide the joint issue down the road. Maybe by the 15th, everybody's had a chance to.
So I think the also concern, I see where you're coming from. I think the other concern, though, is when you send something as a copy, you can't actually vote on it,
Yeah,
right?
you can. Oh, yeah. We do that.
You can.
Oh, my.
Yeah, you can.
No, these rules are like so applied so arbitrarily. Okay, that's fine. I mean,
No.
okay.
All right. Because, we send copies of items.
Yeah, I know,
to
totally,
different committees all the
totally.
time.
I
We actually
know.
don't
I
have a
just
rule
feel
on
like I've been told otherwise by this body before. So I'm just
All right.
living in the twilight zone, I think. So there was a motion to suspend the rules and send to charter and rules and ordinance. But apparently we can send a copy of things to, what's the motion? Can someone help me? Like, what do you
Let's
guys want as a
revise the
motion? I'm the president.
We'll just revise the motion, and I make a motion to send item 104 to both ordinance and charter and rules.
Okay. There's a motion to suspend send item 104 to ordinance and charter and rules.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Councilor Greeny?
clarification.
Sure.
Is that a joint committee?
It's not a joint committee.
Okay.
I'll second that, for sure.
Under discussion,
I have a question.
literally, I'm like, I mean, I have the language from when we did this in, when was this? 2020, for the enterprise fund, and it said to a joint meeting of the ordinance and finance committees. I guess I'm just like, kind of just feeling crazy. So we're gonna send these to,
When was that, in 2020?
that was, no,
2023, I think.
2022.
Yeah.
We were all on the city council then.
I don't know if we suspended the rules or what we did.
The order actually says to refer these things to a joint meeting of the ordinance and finance committees.
Then we must have, either it didn't get picked up or we must have suspended the rules to do it.
So that's why I was having Counselor
Yeah.
Givner do what we did. If that's how we did it last time, then to a joint meeting of the charter and rules and ordinance considered jointly.
That's not the motion.
Yeah, but, you know, all I can say is
So-
we know what the rules are here now, right? And,
Yeah, but do you understand where I'm coming from? Where it's like,
Well, just because one mistake was made 3 years ago doesn't
no, but
mean-
that's, oh my gosh, but if it's the other
I
way
haven't even
around.
researched that.
That's picking and choosing.
Well, I did research that.
I haven't. You're just mentioning it now.
No, but yeah, because I didn't know what the date was off the top of my head. I'm not even. All right, so
Madam,
Counselor, no, I'm sorry. Hold on.
on the motion.
Well, what is a motion?
Well, someone needs to clarify what the motion is.
Motion was to send to both.
No, Counselor Givner, please clarify your motion.
If you would.
Sure. After hearing this debate, the motion is to send item 104 to a joint meeting of the ordinance and charter and rules committees.
Okay.
My apologies.
Second.
Thank you for
So that's
clarifying.
a rule suspension, your motion.
It doesn't look like it needs a rule.
We already said 9I. We already know that you can't do
Do you want me, if we have to suspend the rules, sure.
Okay.
Motion to suspend the rules and send item 104 to a joint meeting of ordinance and charter and rules.
Second.
Satisfaction, everyone?
Yep, roll call vote.
Sounds good. If this is really what it's going to come down to, guys, the clerk will call the roll.
Devine,
She said yes.
Givner,
Yes.
Graney,
No.
Jordan,
No.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yeah.
Ocasio,
No.
Israel Rivera,
Yeah.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
No.
Bartlett,
No.
Is there another motion?
Motion to send a copy to both charter and rules and ordinance.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to send a copy of 104 to charter and rules and ordinance. Counselor Rivera, under discussion.
So just real quick, and the reason why I made the motion, because if I'm listening to Councilor Jordan, it doesn't matter whether or not everyone says yes or no. Later on, we're gonna have to suspend the rules again to actually host the meeting and have the meeting. But it's just petty to me that at certain times it's okay when somebody was the chair and they're running the meeting, it's okay for them to do it and not follow the rules. But now that we're actually doing it and you don't agree with it, now you want to cite rules, even though when you were the chair, you just ran with it. And Joe was the other chair of the finance committee. Joe has been on the council for over 30 years. So it's not a mistake that just went by Joe. So this is the part where it's not fair, right? We're trying to do the work for the people, and people are taking personal matters and making them about themselves and doing blockades for personal things. Whether we vote yes or no, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, later on, I'd have to do it again and suspend the rules to make it happen. So if you guys would have voted yes, it would have been just an arbitrary yes for now. But later on, somebody's going to bring up, you have to suspend the rules to actually have this meeting. So It's just crazy that we went in circles for something that doesn't even matter in the moment. But because people have personal feelings and vendettas over particular issues, I'm not saying everyone is, but just over particular issues, it's kind of straining our work that needs to be done on the council, and that's not fair to the constituents. That's all I have to say. We don't always have to agree, but we can agree to disagree on certain topics, and right now it's not fair to the constituents. Thank you.
On the motion to,
Madam President, can I just address, my name
I-
was dropped.
Counselor Jordan, first of all, your name was not dropped. I just want to
I just
clarify
cited
that.
my name a moment ago, ma'am.
No, he
No,
didn't.
did not.
He did not say your name, first of all. Let's,
Okay,
okay, but if you,
Let's
go
address
ahead, you have a minute, go ahead.
thank you. First of all, I don't know what occurred in 2023. I certainly wasn't the chair in 22, 23, that's for sure. My term as president was 2012 to 2017.
Please,
Okay?
one at a time, Counselor Jordan has the floor.
Thank you. So if anything happened during that time, attribute it to me. Whatever happened after that has nothing to do with me. So this notion that I'm being a hypocrite now by making these arguments is totally out of line. And I'll simply say, this is all coming to me for the first time. I would like to have conversations about how this is all going to roll out in the future. Maybe everyone will feel comfortable having a joint meeting. But all of this, I don't know at this point. Let's send it to the two committees and we can think about how we're going to manage it together. Thank you.
Okay, I am so.
For clarification, I wasn't even referring to you.
I
That's cool.
did not recognize you, first of all. Thank you. I understand. I don't care either. I would love to leave just as bad as you do. We have 2 items left on the agenda, everyone. Please, keep your personalities out of it. This is the most ridiculous behavior I've seen. Actually, it's not, but wow. Okay, so on the motion to send these to committee, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. So, late file, Metcalf Work Group recommendations from Counselor Bartley. What's the motion?
Motion to send to the Joint Committee of School and City Council?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? And the last one is from myself, filed to change the grade for the Department Director of Public Works from 14 to 15, sent to ordinance. All those in favor?
Is that on the agenda?
Yes.
I have 100, and
It
this is the
came
updated agenda. We
out.
have 105 items on the updated agenda I picked up at the beginning of the meeting.
Counselor.
Where's 106?
It's right in front of me. I'm not sure what to tell you. I don't know what you have in front of you. I'm not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. I'm just.
But we have.
Late files. I'm not.
But the items are supposed to, anywhere, no one even knows about 106.
I'm sorry. Jeffrey was told about this after the fact. It got sent out. I put in there that grade 15 is clearly more appropriate given the fact I explained that we need to this was found the other day. I'm sorry that Jeffrey didn't give it to everyone. I'm not trying. Give me the benefit of the doubt for 2 seconds.
I give you the benefit of the doubt, but can we at least follow the basics of open meeting law here?
Jeffrey didn't know.
It's on
Please.
the agenda online.
It's on the agenda online.
Oh, when did that get updated?
Oh my gosh, Counselor.
I literally picked
Please,
this
will
up
you
at the beginning of
please
the
let.
meeting.
Okay, Jeffrey, go ahead. I'm the bad guy.
I apologize. I was informed about this order after the meeting had started and after I had printed those.
After the meeting started?
Yes.
At 7 o'clock?
I did not send it at 7 o'clock, Counselor.
Okay.
I'm
It's
saying
going to ordinance?
Right. I didn't know
It's
until
going to ordinance.
after
I'm
the meeting
trying to vote
started.
on it tonight.
All right.
Okay? Yeah. I'm taking the liberty of what other people do. Please, Counselor. I'm trying here.
I'm with you, but
Is there a
I'm just
motion
saying.
to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All those in
I make a
favor?
motion.
What? You have a motion?
Okay.
Well, I'm done.
All right, motion to adjourn. Thank you.